Welcome back, and this is another video on asset management. In this video, we are going to be looking at 6 key data questions that you need to be thinking about when you're making an asset management plan. And this is very related to the work that we do in the portfolio analysis team, especially on the data side, but also on the strategic asset study side as well. So 6 key data questions for asset management. And we're going to be going through all of these 6 questions in turn. So let's get started. The first question is, what do you own? So when you are an organization as large as D&D, when you have 11,000 buildings to manage, you have to understand that buildings are coming into your responsibility, and some buildings are being demolished and are being taken away from our responsibility. This happens every year, and so we need to make sure we have an accurate account of all the assets that make up our portfolio. What are they worth? We need to have a method to measure the value of all of our assets. This is commonly referred to as the real property replacement cost, or the RPRC, and there are several ways to compute the RPRC. Third question, what is the condition? So we need to have a method to be able to discern the difference between a building that is in good condition and a building that is in poor condition. There are several ways to accomplish this, and we usually use something that is called the Facility Condition Index, or also known as an FCI score, and we'll get more into that a little bit later. Next, what is the deferred maintenance? Deferred maintenance has 2 aspects. So one is a list for each asset of all of the major maintenance. And these are things like replacing a roof or replacing your HVAC system or upgrading your electrical system. So if these have been scheduled to be completed but have not yet been completed, then it is referred to as deferred maintenance. So the second aspect of deferred maintenance is, in addition to the list, all of those activities have a cost. So we also want to be able to estimate how much deferred maintenance different buildings have. The next question is service life. So the first question is like, how old is this asset? A second aspect to this question are, within this asset, there are various components or building systems, and it makes sense to know how old those components are. For example, you can have a very old building, but with a brand new elevator and a brand new roof and a brand new HVAC system. So when we're looking at the service life, sometimes we're referring to the building, other times we're referring to the components that are inside the building. The last question is technically not a data question. So what do you fix first? So that's an outcome of decision making that the answers to the first 5 questions help inform. So you need to be able to answer, to a certain degree, questions 1 through 5 to help you figure out what do you fix first. Now, when we are balancing out our plans moving forward, we also have to, in addition to taking that data, we also have to adjust that for priorities, budget, levels of service, and ways that we can help make these decisions include using some decision science techniques. We can use optimization models or multi-criteria analysis, and some other methods that are too numerous to list here today. So when we are looking at these questions, this is how we do it at Defense. For the first question, we have an asset registry that is inside a system called DRIMIS. Hopefully by now you are working on getting your access to DRIMIS. And once you do have access to DRIMIS, we will show you how to access these registries to pull asset information from them. Future videos and other training will show you how to use that system. Second question is, what is it worth? There are 2 ways of looking at that. One is the RPRC, and another is through total lifecycle costs. So our RPRC information, there's another video that explains how to do that, but the actual data related to that is also inside of the asset registry. Third is condition. At D&D, we use FCI scores, generally speaking, to inform us about condition. That information is also in the asset registry, and a video on how to compute an FCI is further down in the asset management area of this onboarding course. Deferred maintenance. So deferred maintenance is linked to RPRC and FCI. We actually have to use deferred maintenance to compute an FCI score. And so that'll be explained in the FCI video. Regarding service life, we use building and building component analysis. So part of that is also explained when we're trying to figure out an FCI and deferred maintenance. One of the tasks at that time is figuring out the service life for each of the main building components. So that'll also be explained in the FCI video. And last on is, what do you fix first? The decision-making systems. I'm not really going to go into too much detail about that. We're working for a political organization in the sense that we respond to government priorities, and the different branches of the military also have their view on what should happen. So all that to say is, you as a new employee may not be actively involved in decision-making systems, but there is an expectation that you are going to have good knowledge about the first 5 questions. And that is probably related to the task that you'll be working on. So that's all I have for now. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.